So you spent all your pocket money on that fancy new Warhammer army and want to play a game. Did you paint them first? You know how the other gamers are. The problem is, how do you get dozens of models to your local game store, hopefully with their tender bits still intact? Today we're talking about the eternal problem that is Warhammer mini storage. Welcome, Traveler. My name is Blake Rea, and this is Love, Death, and Dice. I love my models. I've put a great deal of effort into them and want to make sure they don't get damaged. This means they need a high-quality storage solution, one that doesn't take up much real estate in my closet and can be easily carried to and from my car. Often, official magnetic mini storage checks these boxes, but doesn't offer a lot of space, and you pay quite a lot for what you do get. We can store a lot of minis safely, cheaply, and in my opinion, with much more modularity using a DIY approach. You have all heard of really useful boxes. Hell, Duncan Rhodes made these a household name, but alas, these are also too expensive. To fit my Night Lord's army, I'd have to buy $223 worth of really useful boxes, and that's before magnetic sheets, adhesive, and carrying straps. We can't go with really useful boxes. What we need is a knockoff. These are the Super Stacker boxes from Joann's Fabrics. For my friends outside the States, you can find these at Amazon, Staples, or Quill. You can also type in Advantus Super Stacker into Google to find something local. As of writing, these things are dirt cheap. Buying enough bins to hold my entire Night Lord's army only costs $95. You probably don't need this many bins, by the way. I just freaking love vehicles, and those take up a lot of space. My Thousand Sons army, wait, did he say Thousand Sons? Yeah, I decided to pull the trigger. Pray for me, that's a lot of trim. But to hold that army, it only cost me $22. So why are these cases so good? They come in 3 different sizes. The small holds your standard infantry and terminators, your medium starts to hold some of your vehicles and taller models, and then you have the big boy large one that can hold things like Magnus the Red, which is a tall freaking model. They are eternally on sale. It's been like 6 months and these are still 50% off at Joann's Fabrics. Design-wise, these bins have a recessed top, allowing you to, super stack them. I like this because they won't slide while I'm moving multiple boxes around. The medium-sized boxes also come with these trays, which are perfect for holding your gaming peripherals like blast markers, cards, and dice. You might not need this tray for larger scale games, but it's killer for all the tokens involved in skirmish level games. If you look inside each of the bins, you'll notice that the bottom is also completely flat, and that the corners aren't rounded like other cheap storage bins. The flat bottom is ideal for making your storage magnetic. My preferred way to do this is to lay in a steel sheet. Of course, this is another area that can be expensive. Magnet Baron makes metal sheets specifically for the really useful boxes, but they are $13 each. I was stumped on this step for a little while until I found the material called steel flashing. They're mainly used for roofing projects and are as cheap as can be, $2 each. Best yet, they're almost the same exact size as my boxes. I have to thank CC Minis for putting these on my radar. I had no idea they existed, but they're perfect for what we're doing. For them to fit perfectly, you need to cut about 1/16 of an inch off the long end. You can use metal snips to cut it off, or, and this is really clever, you can hit it. Using my desk edge and a hammer, I bent the lip 90 degrees. Boom, now it fits, and I didn't cut myself. My cat didn't like the banging though. Here's a treat for your trouble. Thank you to all my patrons for helping me stock treats for my cat Gibbs. If you want to send him a snack or get your name featured in an episode, consider checking out my Patreon below. To secure our metal plates in place, we'll need an adhesive that is strong, but also flexible. It's a little pricey, but a tube of liquid nails and a caulking gun will cover our bins and then some. Cut the tip, pop it on the gun, and caulk the bottom of each case. Is caulk a verb? Firmly press the steel sheet into place, making sure the liquid nails is evenly spread. I also placed unbent sheets on the top of a couple of cases for even more magnetic storage. I ran the liquid nails along the raised section of plastic. The sheet doesn't make complete contact with the center of the lid, but I believe this will be enough to hold simple models. Smash cut to me putting 9 models on the ceiling. It held fine, it's doing okay. Also, if you want to stack like a slightly taller model in the same bin as your infantry, just superglue a magnet to the side of the bin and put the model in sideways. Once the liquid nails was in place, I let it dry overnight near an open window. Just because this stuff doesn't smell, doesn't mean it's not harmful. The next morning, I loaded up all my minis into their new home and got to work on the final part of this build. A case for all my cases. Well, more like a carrying strap. Uninspiringly named box carrying straps, these are heavy-duty straps and handles that you can adjust to any size you need. Any excess strap can just be cut off to neaten it up. After you cut it, hit it with a lighter to seal in the seam. I love this because now I'm not confined to the size of my bag. I can adjust the strap depending on what I'd like to bring to my game nights. Best yet, they're like $15, so I can buy one for each stack of boxes. All in, to store my Night Lord's army, it only cost me $157. That's still a major chunk of change, no doubt, but it's much cheaper than official offerings. I don't want to come off like official offerings are predatory or anything. I'm not involved with those companies. Maybe they cost that much for valid reasons. I just know I can't afford those options, and maybe it's not the smartest thing to do with my money on a hobby. I urge you to try the DIY route though. It'll save you money, and as long as these Super Stacker cases stay available, you can build out your mini storage in the way your army needs. Until next time, subscribe and happy painting.